Viewers, cutting across to some fresh breaking that we're getting at this hour. China has launched a blockade exercise against Taiwan. The PLA Eastern Theater Command has blocked key Taiwanese islands. In fact, 19 warships and 1 aircraft carrier are a part of this blockade exercise from the side of the People's Liberation Army in China. China's military, in fact, has also said that they have begun a joint army, navy and rocket force exercises around Taiwan to serve as a stern warning and a powerful deterrent against the Taiwanese independence. The exercise around the democratically governed island, which China views as its own territory. Also being joined by retired Major General A.K. Sivach to get us more details on the broadcast. Sir, thank you for speaking to Republic. China has once again begun behaving like a regional bully, and this time they have also entered the operational zones of Taiwan. Talk to us about it, sir.
No doubt about it. As far as China is concerned, China is becoming very aggressive, taking Taiwan into consideration. And everyone thought that once the Donald Trump 2.0 will come, possibly China will sober down. But the situation with turning out, China is becoming aggressive, and now they are conducting this exercise. It's a massive exercise being conducted by the Eastern Theater Command of the China, where they are now blocking certain islands and all. What they are doing is they are using their naval power, they are using the air power, they are using their army power and the rocket force, basically to lay a blockade all around Taiwan, to put Taiwan under pressure. China has been claiming that Taiwan is an integral part of China and it must come back to them. But then Taiwan has been always saying it's independent and Taiwan has a right to remain independent. Majority of the country follow one China policy. But everyone claims that China cannot aggressively or by force unify Taiwan. But the way China is now being practicing, China is displaying its rude military power. It seems that it is maybe possible that China with one force, with this thing, even in Trump 2.0, will try to do some misadventure. So this is a cause of concern. And Taiwan has been telling time and again that they must be equipped and armed with the most modern weapons. And I suppose the U.S. is thinking they have already given them US-35. They have given them also 22 Raptor. So they have to now make sure that the air defense system also of Taiwan is of a very high quality so that they can also lay a deter. No doubt about it, Taiwan in last about 10 years has been equipped with the most modern weapons. But at the same time, it is also a fact that China is becoming now very, very aggressive. It is now trying to dominate Taiwan from all sides. From the eastern side of Taiwan, it never used to lay a siege. But the way now this Eastern Command, which is doing this exercise, it shows that they are now surrounding the Taiwan from all sides, putting tremendous pressure and trying to show that they have a capability to isolate Taiwan and then basically try to take.
Right.
Though it is not easy, Taiwan is also well equipped, well armed. They have the best of their forces, be it air power, be it their naval power, and also the air defense system. It is of a very high quality of Taiwan. But certainly, this is another way China is trying to now become very aggressive and show its muscle power to Taiwan.
Right, sir. In fact, sir, we're also being joined by Major General Sanjay Soi, retired Major General Sanjay Soi, to get us more details into the matter. Sir, thanks for speaking to Republic. And while it's clearly visible that China is trying to solidify its position as the dominant regional power, China's Shandong aircraft carrier group, the entire group entered the response area of the Taiwanese territory, claiming it as their own and once again behaving like a regional bully. Speak to us about this. Speak to us about the growing undeterred ambitions of China and how is that a threat to the entire region?
Absolutely, Kesu. Thanks a lot for taking my views. I would like to say that it is not once, but many times in the past also China has carried out such exercises and crossed the median line, which is a understanding between the Taiwan and China. And China has always been claiming Taiwan as a part of China. So now the things are, it is becoming more aggressive, as you have brought out. And they are trying to show the muscle flexing. They are trying to put a psychological pressure on Taiwan. They are trying to tell the world that yes, we can do anything we want. We can go anywhere we want, and we can fly anywhere we want. The South China Sea and this area, they all are. That is why probably the US, India, Australia, Japan, we keep carrying out the exercises of freedom of navigation in South China Sea. So this is a growing ambition of China, and though Taiwan is very well equipped, and the challenge with China will remain that Taiwan is an island country, so they'll have to, in case they want to do it physically, it will be a big challenge for China. It will not be a cakewalk for them.
Right.
But however, China has always tried to win the war without fighting. Probably this is one of the game they are playing.
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, point noted. In fact, we're also being joined by our senior executive editor, Abhishek Kapoor, while retired Major General A.K. Sivach and retired Major General Sanjay Soi continue to join us on the phone lines to get us more details into the matter. Over to you, Abhishek. There was an error with network. However, viewers, it's vital to remember that there is a massive military buildup that has happened in Taiwan. In fact, the Chinese aircrafts, in fact, an entire aircraft group entered the response area of the Taiwanese territory, which claims of independence. However, China continues to hold its position over the One China policy. In fact, while militarily China remains undefeated when it comes to Taiwan especially, China is also flexing muscle over the US, which has intervened in the matter multiple times, standing ground for Taiwan's independence. In fact, Taiwan's defense ministry has also revealed that China's Shandong aircraft carrier group entered its response area, and they had also dispatched the military aircraft and ships and even activated land-based missile systems in response. Retired Major General Sanjay Soi continues to be with us on the broadcast. Sir, I request you to pick up from the point where you had left about regional security and how China is trying to flex its muscle time and again, acting like a regional bully.
There's no doubt that though I know that China has become very strong, they're adding to the Navy, the naval power, and they're also adding to the missile nuclear arsenal, and they are emerging as a challenge to the USA. And these actions also, I think, is a big challenge to the USA when US has pledged all support to Taiwan in case there is an attack by China. I would like to highlight here that it will not be easy for China to carry out physical attack on Taiwan because US has provided all the state-of-art military equipment, air defense system and aircraft to Taiwan. However, due to the size and superiority of numbers, China may overwhelm, but they will not be able to capture physically. That is why China time and again keeps on doing these exercises to put a pressure on Taiwan, and probably they are looking at long-term. Xi Jinping has not once but many times has mentioned that one China policy, that Taiwan is part and parcel of China, and anytime whenever any senior delegate of US or politician has visited Taiwan, China has registered a protest. So this is another show of force by China, and especially when the whole aircraft carrier group has crossed the median line, I think whole world has to take note of this.
Right, sir. In fact, we're continuously also joined by retired Major General A.K. Sivach. Sir, this entire exercise, blockade exercise from the side of the Chinese PLA comes just one day after the Pentagon chief at the US also said that US will ensure all deterrence across Taiwan Strait. So do you think that this is sort of a power tactics, a muscle flexing tactics that China uses to sort of make US realize that this is the place that, you know, they bring the US to when it comes to their opinions, especially on Taiwan Strait and the Taiwanese territory, given that China continually pushes for one China policy?
No doubt. See, as far as China is concerned, of late it is now trying to put pressure and trying to show that China has a capability and capacity to take over Taiwan. And Taiwan must unify with China because Taiwan is a part of China. And now it has become very aggressive with the way it is now conducting the blockade and the way it is using its all power. And so it is a pressure tactic. But one thing is very clear, that U.S. is also now, as far as Donald Trump is concerned, he wants the pressure to now shift from Russia-Ukraine war and Middle East to Indo-Pacific. And he's also trying to focus there. There are two aircraft carrier groups which earlier used to be deployed there in Indo-Pacific. They were moved to the eastern, basically to the Middle East. Now they are already moving one of the aircraft carrier group there. No doubt the China will try to project its power, but at the same time, the U.S. also had its presence there very close to Taiwan. It had also equipped and armed Taiwan in a manner that it can resist the forcefully unification of Taiwan by in terms of its air power, in terms of missile power, rocket force, and also with their mighty navy. So it is not going to be so easy for China in any way, but U.S. knows it as to how China is going to unfold it in case it wants to forcibly take Taiwan by putting pressure from all sides. But at the same time, Taiwan is also very well equipped to basically resist the might of the China. And U.S. of late is arming not only Taiwan, it is arming Japan, it is arming South Korea, and they are also now getting the most modern weapons because they are knowing it. There is a triangle which is forming of North Korea and China as well as Russia. So it's not going to be that easy for China, but certainly China is now trying to put pressure on Taiwan by showing it that it has a muscle power, it has got a power to now basically take Taiwan with force, notwithstanding that the U.S. is also there and U.S. will go all out to support and aid Taiwan.
Right, sir. In fact, also quickly circling back to retired Major General Sanjay Soi, who continues to be with us on the broadcast. Sir, while it's completely understandable that this exercise is only China's way to sort of solidify its position as the dominant regional power, however, the time and again recurrence of such events where they're behaving like a regional bully, putting Taiwan's independence and security under complete military threat and under sort of like a direct line of fire. Do you think that this is the correct tactic to be used, especially in a region where China is looking to gain power, but this is happening not via partnership but through military threat? Do you think that this is the right way to go about it first? And second, also, why are these incidents recurring without anything coming out of these incidents? It's not like Taiwan's independence is being hurt over the years that this has been done by China.
Absolutely, Kesu. Very, very interesting point you have raised. There are 2-3 things which come to my mind. Number one, that China has been flexing muscle. They have been trying to show to Taiwan that they can come, they can attack anytime. They are coming closer and closer, and they have flown their aircraft also over Taiwan in the past.
Yes.
Now, what happens at times, this is like building up an intelligence failure or sort of preparedness in Taiwan. Every time they prepare, okay, now they have come, their whole air defense system is activated, the whole forces are activated. Then after a couple of months, again China does it, they again get activated. So probably at times what some big countries do is they make them used to it, and then their response gets easier, they get their responses get relaxed, and that is the time probably then the attack takes place. In the past, in the history also it has happened. Whether it was a Yom Kippur War in 1967 when the Egypt did exercises for 3-4 years, continue to do exercises, keep coming to closer to Israel border, but 1 year they attacked. Similar thing, China can do it. Second thing is that probably when the US is busy in other parts of the world, say in Russia, Ukraine, in Middle East with Iran and Houthi, and this is a time probably China is also finding it easier either to divert attention of the US from Middle East or probably now they think that they will not be able to give so much attention to Taiwan, and China can do it. So there are a couple of things which just came to my mind, and I thought I'll share it on your channel. Yes.
Sir, in fact, while militarily China seems to be outmatched in the region at least, do you agree that the neighbors have sort of achieved success in pushing back against Beijing through increased maritime security engagements and additional defense investments? But when it comes to Taiwan, the situation, even in this case, looks precarious because regionally two countries are not completely on the same page when it comes to even recognizing the independence of the Taiwanese territory, separate from China, probably in a manner because these countries do not want to pick up a fight against against a nation as strong and sort of to say as mysterious as China. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. So very, very interesting. Again, very interesting. Lot of countries, they pledge support to Taiwan, but they have still not gone against China. They still not have gone against one China policy. They have not openly said so. In fact, Bangladesh caretaker president had mentioned of one China policy. So Taiwan has taken note of that also. Though there have been exercises in the past, like Quad is there, and there have been joint naval exercises by US, Australia, US, Japan, India, US, India, Japan. Those exercises have been taken place to ensure freedom of navigation and to challenge China's hegemony in the area. But I think because of the distance involved of US, though US has a big base, 7th Fleet in Japan, but because of distance involved, the Taiwan may feel insecure. However, if you see this, India's relations with Philippines have increased. India's relations with Indonesia are better. This Japan and India relationships are much better. India has shown teeth to, has shown China that India can take on. I mean, after the Galwan, China has understood that this India is not of 1962 India. So countries are united. Countries have thought of it. And Taiwan is not feeling alone. And time and again, number of exercises and presence of U.S. fleet aircraft carriers in the area also is a deterrent for China. So I don't think so they will venture at the moment to carry out physical attack. But this and what I have mentioned is probably carry out exercises again and again and let the responses be relaxed, and at some appropriate time they capture Taiwan, because that is their ambition. Xi Jinping not once but many times mentioned that they will make sure that Taiwan is merged with China.
Right, sir. In fact, it does seem so that China does not realize that these things do have repercussions. Entering an independent territory's response area has repercussions. However, China, given the size at which it operates in terms of military prowess and cold and soft and hard power, that, I think, becomes one reason why China can overlook those repercussions. That was retired Major General A.K. Sivach and retired Major General Sanjay Soy joining us on the broadcast.